This video is made for an adult audience. Hey Brick fans, welcome back to the Brick Bakery, where all our jokes are half baked. I'm Jacob and today it's time to do some work on my Lego city. For the last 4 weeks I have been working hard on my Lego train station, but I haven't done any work on my Lego city as such. So today I'll do that and I'll show you folks the changes and the ideas I've come up with. But you should also stick around till the end because I've got an important question to ask you folks. But without further ado, let's get over to the city. So this is the city as it looks right now. I am not terribly impressed myself. I would love this to be more filled in and a little less chaotic. As you can see, there's some of the classic modular buildings here in the back, and I'm trying to finish the diner. Of course, my railroad station is nowhere to be found, and neither is the railroad tracks. There's no real roads. There's no mocks here to any. No, there's no mocks here actually. Of course, the train station, once I put that in, will be a mock. But other than that, I think everything here is an official set. So that's not good. Plenty of stuff to be done. My first thought was to try and use some of these old plates here to see if I can do something with roads and try to make this more city-like. This will be temporary. Much of what I do presently will be temporary to some extent, because this is just part of the city. I've actually got much more space than just this right here. I have all the way down here. That's 13 by 5 base plates more or less. I think it's more like 13 by 4 2/3. So I think I'm gonna go with 13 and 4.5 just to be sure that nothing hangs over the edge out here, which is going to be very inconvenient if it does. But for now I'm going to call this right here my Lego city, and the first thing I'm going to do is add in some road plates and see if I can do something meaningful with those road plates in the Lego city. I've been going at it for a while now, and what I've come up with thus far is this, which is it's a very nice circle. The thing is, I don't really have any more of these classic road plates here. These are very, very old. I believe actually these would be from the late 80s, mid 80s actually. I do have other road plates. I managed at some point to find one of these packs here at 30 Danish. I don't know, is that about $2 and I think about £3 British. So I do have a straight and a T crossing, but these are much wider than the roads that's here, so that's probably going to look pretty weird to use those. I also have some here. These are actually for an old, what do you call that, airport, which I'm sure I don't have all the stuff for anyway. So I could use these as sort of a more rural or suburban part of the city, but it's not going to be that big. So a suburban part, it's not going to make too much sense, but maybe to prolong up here into a park area or something like that might make sense. Again, this is all temporary. I'm going to change this eventually, but just for now, to get a more of a city feel, I think it could be good to add these up here. So that's where I'm at right now. If you have any kind of suggestions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to hear it. I chose to put the brick bank here in the middle. It is one of my absolute favorite modulars, so I think taking sort of center place would be good with this one, and it's got this nice corner where you can actually see it. Of course, if you go over here and stand over here somewhere, you can see the back of this, and it's not very pretty. But in the long run, I'm gonna change stuff around anyway, so this being placed here is not a problem as such. I have decided that the train station will go here, and the front being turned this way over here, so you'll have this road going down between the brick bank and the train station. Now, I'm not certain I can actually fit a train track all around the city at this point, because there's not enough room up behind the Parisian restaurant and the pool modular, the pool thing, the detective's office, that's what it's called, sorry. The detective's office, there's not enough room up there, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check that out, but it's gonna be a bit difficult anyway to reach over there, but I'll see if I can figure something out. And down here, there is room, I'm fairly certain, so there could be a train track here. We'll see. It could be fun to have one going all the way around already at this point, just to get that sense of some dynamic movement in the city. But for now, I'm gonna put the train station right here and see how that looks. Train station is now in place and I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna try to give you sort of a flyby so you can get sort of a sense of how everything looks right here. That we got the Parisian restaurant in the background, the detective's office way over in the background, the unfinished diner and the brick bank right in the middle. Of course, this is a very small town at this point, but you've got to start somewhere. I have an idea of adding in the train track going from, oops, you gotta see that. It's gonna go from here. And I'm hoping to wrap it all around the city, but I don't know if I can actually manage that at this point, because my idea is to make the modulars over in that back row stand on a raised section so the train can go underneath, which will look cool and make great use of the airspace above the modulars. But I'm not sure I can actually wrap it in there at this point because there's not much room to do with. But down here I might be able to add something, and I'll try to do that just because it could be fun to have a circle of train already. As I had foreseen, there's not actually room to make the full turn over there, so that's a problem at this point. It's all because I think, first of all, it's going to be a raised section back there, so the turn can be much more, you know, a much wider turn underneath a raised section. And beside that, the train station over here, and zoom out through. The train station here is actually planned to go the other direction, so standing this way over in that corner way over there. So it's not going to be as wide a turn because these two tracks, which, or actually that's 4 pieces of track, which is the width of the train station, is not going to be this way on the table. It's not going to be the depth of the table, they're going to be on the length of the table, so that's going to be much more easy to actually fit in. So at this point I have half a track around the city, which is good for now, but eventually it will be a full track. To make room for the train tracks going around the city, I've also added or moved the small farmer's market over here. We got the pizza van, the ice cream truck back there. There's the donut shop, which was the Target exclusive set. And of course, some of this sort of farmer's market stuff from a people pack from, I think, a couple of years ago. So there's a lot of great stuff going on here, and this really livens up the place and maybe sort of draws your attention from the ugly side of the bank here down towards all the stuff that's going on here. And we've got the diner being built. I'm going to add in some machinery, some construction vehicles and such, so it looks like they're building that. Construction vehicles aplenty, people. Yes, there is plenty of construction vehicles moving around the unfinished diner. I think it looks to some extent like a construction site. You might be wondering why there are so many diggers and not any sort of builder-uppers like cranes or some scaffolding or something like that, but that's just because I don't have those. There's a wonderful crane out at this point which would be cool to have, but other than that, this is mostly placeholder stuff for when the diner is actually done. I think I'm going to sort of finish this fairly soon, So building too much around it, trying to make it look like it's being built, is maybe sort of a little waste. But for now, this is looking great, and I like how it really livens up the city at this point. There are, of course, other details that I'm gonna add into the city to liven up the place. I've built several of my older sets, not old as such, but older sets, which can go in here and yeah, be a cool part of the Lego city. So I'm gonna work on that at this point. More details everywhere. I think I like it. I like it a lot at this point. Of course, this, as I've said several times already, is just temporary, but I do like it, I've got to admit, and I can actually make the train move, which is a great thing. Woohoo! Here we go. Train and stop. Whoa. So that's pretty neat actually, to have that kind of functionality in a city. I really like how much dynamic it really adds to the city. And I think I'm going to do this for hours on end now. But yeah, this is a great place to be. I think I'm going to work a bit more on some detailing, and we'll see where it all ends up. As you just saw, I built the Lego store, this wonderful little set right here. This is of course going to go straight into the city. I've also added a few small details from, I think it's an extra pack. Lego made some extras bags, but they also made an extra pack at some point, and stuff like this was in there just to liven up the place just a tiny bit. But right now I'm going to place this in the city, and I think I'm going to do that right over there next to the Parisian restaurant. There we go, that's the Lego store placed in the city, and I think this is taking shape in a really nice way. I think I'm gonna do some glamour shots for you folks, and yeah, you can see some details in the city. That was my Lego city at this point. Everything is temporary. I'm going to change a lot of things when I get more stuff done, but at this point, this is what it is. Please let me know in the comments below what you think and if you have any great ideas. I said in the beginning of this video that I had an important question to ask you folks. You know that I've moved, you know that I'm working on a new city, and I've been wondering if I should maybe use a new name for my Lego city. I've been sort of toying around with the idea of just adding new to Bakersville, so it's going to be New Bakersville, but I'm not sure if that's good or if there's a better name for my city. So please, in the comments below, suggest names or name ideas if you have any, and let me know if you think New Bakersville is good or if it should just be Bakersville. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you folks next time. For the last months, I do some work on that, and I'll show you what I blah 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 blah. Because I've got a important